Am I wrong for not booking a getaway for my wife's birthday because she showed no enthusiasm? My wife's birthday is in a couple weeks and she said she wants to spend some time in a hotel or somewhere away from the house. She also wanted to do something with her twin sister. I was thinking going abroad. We are in the UK for context, but she didn't want to travel. We have children which we can't part with when on holiday. And her sister has children too. Part of the problem is when it comes to me suggesting a holiday, a place to go, etc. She shows no enthusiasm or engagement at all. A couple nights in a hotel is going to cost at least $500, so I want to make sure she's on board, etc. I arranged a call with her sister and she didn't even bother get involved, just walked off. I try and talk to her about suggestions and I get the typical short answers, whatever you want, etc. Now I appreciate she would want me to put together something and sort it all out myself. But when we're spending so much money next to Christmas, it would be good to have some kind of discussion about it, or her at least show some kind of excitement. I just don't want to book somewhere. And she spends most of the time staying in the hotel or complaining that she doesn't feel safe, which has happened the last 2 times I've arranged a family holiday. I've ended up not booking anything. Her sister pulled out because of the cost and told her we'll just do a dinner or something. Now she's upset.
Am I wrong for refusing to give up the cat I wanted to adopt? It's going to be a pretty straightforward post, but I seriously need a second opinion because right now I am so mad I'm second-guessing myself. I, female 20 if that matters, a month ago saw an adoption post for 2 kittens found on the street. I always wanted a cat and always wanted to adopt. I firmly believe that it's a better idea than buying an animal from breeders. Now I finally have the financial means to support an animal, a stable situation regarding living conditions, and support from my family, who I still live with since I am currently studying in university. Back to the post. I saw it while we were away in our home country due to family reasons, and wrote the woman with the kittens that I really like one of the girls. She is very calm and tactile by the woman's words and has the funniest expressions. If you imagine a cat from the Middle Age paintings, that will be her. Anyway, the woman answered that she would gladly keep her a little longer so that I can pick her up immediately after getting back home. Yesterday, we finally got back, so I also immediately wrote her that, hey, I'm finally ready to take my little girl home. She answered that the little one is currently with her friend. Temporarily, I unfortunately do not know the word in English for it, and that I can schedule a meeting with her to meet the kitten and discuss when to pick her up. I wrote the woman who currently has the kitten, and we agreed that today I'll visit her. That should have been it, right? But today's morning, the woman in question wrote me that her nephew and mother don't want to give the kitten to anyone and that her nephew is crying since yesterday because he doesn't want to let the little one go. After that, she offered to find me a new cat in the group where other people basically do the same thing, helping to find home to cats from the streets. I wrote that, no, I'm not giving up the cat, and that I could have met her in the middle in any other situation, but not this one. I also wrote the woman who found the cat originally, the one who's been discussing the adoption with. She was unpleasantly surprised and told me that she would speak with her friend immediately since she didn't know about this at all. The situation is not solved yet since it's only happened today, but I can't help but think if I'm overreacting. I'm really, really mad because why should I need to account for the feelings of a child whose parents couldn't explain to him what temporary means? I really, really love the kitten, and I don't want to give her up just because people I don't know have negative feelings about it. On the other hand, I'm not really known for thinking straight when I'm mad, and I guess I need the opinion from people who don't know me.
Am I wrong for refusing to take in my in-laws? I, 37 female, have been married to my husband, 38 male, for 10 years. We have 2 children. He has 2 brothers, Henry, 40, who is married with 2 children, and Frank, 43, who is also married with 2 children. Their parents now need to move in with one of their sons because they can no longer live alone. One of his brothers called for a family meeting with all the siblings and their wives. Henry and Frank suggested their parents should live with my husband and I, since I have the most experience. We own the biggest house with an in-law apartment that we use when we have guests visiting, and their wives both work. I'm the only one with a background in nursing, but I'm now mostly a stay-at-home mom. I keep my license current and work 1 weekend a month just in case I decide to go back to work full-time once our children are older. I said no because my mother-in-law and I don't have a good relationship. She's never been kind to me, and we only see her twice a year because I don't want our children seeing her do that. I suggested a nursing home or assisted living. His brother said they did look into that option, but neither are options due to cost. I let them know we will not be having their parents living with us, and one of them will have to accommodate them at their home. They said they would not be able to survive financially having their wives stay home. I apologized and told them if they had any questions while caring for them, I'd be available over phone, but told them I would not do it. My husband agrees with me, but does think it was a little harsh. His brothers aren't speaking to us right now because they said I'm an idiot who's gonna put them in a bad spot. Am I wrong?
Am I wrong for blaming my fiancé for Thanksgiving being a disaster? I'm sitting in my pajamas, fuming about this whole thing, and my fiancé is acting like he holds no equal footing here. I need to know I'm not crazy. When I was about 4 years old, my parents introduced me to their friend Rose. She started spending a lot of time with us and eventually moved in. They were always very close friends, and she was very good to me, but I didn't think anything weird of it. A lot of people I knew lived with family, so I thought it was like that. When I was a preteen, they explained to me that they were all together. Not polygamy or a sister-wife situation, but Rose was in love with and dating both my parents. It was a little jarring, but I accepted it. And honestly, it didn't change much. Rose was still one of the people who helped me with homework, pitched in with dinner, taught me how to ride a bike, etc. She was there for every big moment, even the sad ones. The only thing that changed is they started kissing one another in front of me. But nothing gross, just the typical parent pecks or whatever. I knew this wasn't the norm for every family. My friends were fine with it when they found out. Not all of their parents were as understanding or accepting, but we were old enough that we could see each other outside of our homes, and it didn't impact me a whole lot socially. Twice, I had a boyfriend who found it weird, but it was revealed early on in our relationship, so it wasn't a huge heartbreak. I've been with my fiancé for the past 3 years. We've been engaged for 1. When we started dating, I explained my parents, and he was cool with it. He's hung out with them and spent holidays with us. His family lives across the country, and they haven't been able to fly out to visit much. We've only afforded 1 trip there since I started dating. The first time I was meeting them, I asked my boyfriend to tell his parents about my parents and Rose, and let me know what they said. He told me they were completely fine with it. Every time we saw each other, it never came up specifically, but I would mention Rose in passing, and no one batted an eye. So I figured all was fine. This year, his parents were able to fly out for Thanksgiving. My fiancé and I were hosting. My parents and Rose were coming too. Again, I think not much of it. Everyone's under roof. Everything's nice and merry. Then, at some point, I go to check on food, and when I come out, things are noticeably awkward. Fiancé's parents, my parents and Rose, all look uncomfortable. Fiancé looks annoyed. I ask what's wrong, but no one will tell me. I awkwardly announce it's time to eat, and the meal is quiet. outside my parents and Rose engaging with me. Fiancé's parents leave for their hotel as soon as we're done eating and don't bother to stay for dessert. I'm even more confused. My mom eventually pulls me into the other room and explains that while I was checking on the food, she, my father and Rose were talking about a trip they're taking. Fiancé's parents looked confused, and Fiancé's mom asked, "Rose is going with you?" My mom had said, "Of course," which seemed to disturb them. My mom then said she explained they were all in a relationship together, and that even further disturbed them. She told me she was hurt. I lied that his parents were okay with them. It wouldn't have changed that they came, but they would have been more careful to not make it awkward. I told them I didn't lie at all. My fiancé told me they were okay with it. She apologized for accusing me, and I apologized she went through that. She, my dad and Rose left not long after that. My fiancé and I got into a huge argument after this. He said he didn't know how to tell them, so he just didn't. I told him he's been lying to me for 2.5 years and put everyone in an uncomfortable position. I asked what his parents thought, and he had told them Rose was my aunt, who lived with them to save on rent. I asked him what he expected to happen. My parents and Rose aren't making out and in people's faces, but when they're in what they assume are safe spaces, they act like they're in a relationship. He claims it's all on his parents for being weirded out and making it awkward. I said no, this is on him. He lied to everyone and made it terrible for everyone. Sure, his partners could have acted normally, and they are at fault for not recovering and trying to have a nice meal, but he's still more so at fault. He just doubled down and said he didn't do anything wrong. He is now mad at me and says that I shouldn't be blaming him for this, and instead should just be mad at his parents. I am just so confused and lost, and wondering if I'm going crazy by being mad at him.
Am I wrong for telling my husband his mom can't live with us for months-long stretches? My husband and I have been married for almost 2 years, and our son is 10 months old. We live in Canada. I grew up here while my husband immigrated when he was a student. My parents live nearby, which has been invaluable during my pregnancy and since. My mom comes over regularly to help us out. My husband and her are on good terms too, so it's been going well. His parents live in another country. We have visited them once since we got married. That was 7 months ago. The time prior to that was our wedding itself, which took place there. My husband had been talking about my mother-in-law visiting soon for a long visit, which I was happy with. We recently moved into our new house. I've done a good job decorating it. We have a large guest room, and I was looking forward to hosting her, especially since it would make my husband happy. A couple of days ago, he was complaining about how detailed her visa application was. I told him I was surprised it was so thorough. He told me that it's because while regular visa forms allow a stay of 6 months max, this one allows 2 years. I asked why would she need a stay of more than 6 months. He said that she had been thinking of winding up her medical practice and basically retiring, and this would then allow her to stay for a longer visit if we all decide that it works. I was stunned. I told him he should just do the regular app because his mom won't be staying for anywhere close to 6 months. I had it in my mind that she'd be staying for like a month. That's how long we stayed for when we went there. He said that's his mom. She tells him how alone she feels. She can't go to my BILs because he lives with roommates, and we can't just put a timer on her visit here. He said she's been looking forward to helping us out with our son. I told him we don't need help. We manage fine on our own, and with my mom's help. I wanted to host his mom as a guest, not as a part of our household. He complained that how was it fair that my parents could visit whenever they wanted while his can't? I was hurt by that because my parents have helped us out a lot, and I asked him if he wants us to limit how often my mom comes to visit. He said no, that's not what he meant, that he likes her, but it wasn't fair to his parents. My reply was that when my mom comes, she goes at the end of the day. That wouldn't be the case with his. I ended it by saying he should look into the easier regular form because she can't be thinking of staying for that long. He chose to sleep on the couch that night and has been cold with me since. I hate that. We've never been cold to each other like this. I talked to my mom too. She said that having his mom live with us for long stretches would definitely affect me, that this is worth fighting for. I haven't seen him working on the application since. Last night, he went out when his mom called. When he came back, I asked him how she took it. He told me he had told her he's looking into what application best suits her. He asked me if I'd changed my mind. I said no. He just shook his head and started watching TV. Am I wrong?